See it on your faces, I know what you're thinking. You're going, hey, that guy kind of looks like that dude from Shrek. He does! Well, guess what? You're all wrong. That's Eddie Murphy, and I don't appreciate that. You shame on you. We don't all look the same. So, anyways, I was home over winter break, and I like to visit one of my friends over Christmas because I just love his decorating style. You know, you got the color scheme. There's red and there's green, and he's colorblind, and it's great. The rainbow threw up all over his apartment. And I'll make fun of him for it, but then I felt bad, so I was gonna give him something to make it up to him. So I got him a paint by numbers so he could make some artwork we could all enjoy. He gave me the finger. It was a good exchange. But he'll get real mad at me. He'll be like, you know, man, it's not easy being colorblind. And I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, it's probably not. Because when you tell someone you're colorblind, there's really only two ways they can respond, at least that I could think of. There's the rare person that goes, okay, that's cool. And most of us who go, really? What color is this? Matt? I'm in the latter group. Yeah, but I was thinking about it a lot, and I was like, you know, man, you're right. Because there's a lot of things like me and all of you take for granted that are so much harder for those people. Like Twister. I mean, that's a game that at first is all about flexibility, but for them, it's about their guess and check skills. It's like, all right, guys, let's play Twister. Spin it. Okay, right foot red. My friend Taylor's over there going, shit. Taylor, that's green. Fuck! So he'll get, you know, and I'll tease him about that shit too, and then he'll get all pissy at me, and he'll be like, oh yeah, you remember that time you ran a red light, told the cop you couldn't tell the difference, you thought it was green? Well, that's my problem, dude, and you couldn't handle it. I was like, okay, that's kind of dick. So I went over to my desk, grabbed the Rubik's Cube, twisted the shit out. I was like, you're so smart, figure that shit. That one kind of backfired though, because he picked it up, turned it over a few times, he goes, I don't get it, it's done. But the worst thing about having colorblind friends is trying to play board games with them, because if you think Monopoly's bad, he's like, no, that's not a hotel, that's a house. I'm like, dude, they're different sizes, get with the program. The worst though, the worst by far, has got to be Risk. Like, you play Risk, and he always, you know, you, me, dude, allies, let's be on the same team. I'm like, no! Remember what happened last time? We were like 2 turns and you attacked me. He's like, I won't do it again, I promise. So I was like, okay, fine, another chance. So we start playing, and it's like being allied with Germany. He doesn't care, he knows what his color is, but the rest are all the same to him. I mean, at least Risk, you know, teaches some kind of lesson, you know, that if you want to succeed in life, you need to get a lot of power and coerce other countries to do what you want, because that's the American way, after all, right? So, the same can't be said, unfortunately, about a lot of games that, you know, kids these days play, and that we grew up playing. I mean, the last thing I want to do is hear, like, oh, they're almost finished with this building, and the architects are having a meeting, they came in a little over budget, they need to make some cuts. They're sitting there going, well, if we take this pillar out, I would play this game of Jenga once, and like, you don't really want to know where that's going. That's just, you know, we really wonder about like why, you know, we're turning out the way we are, why kids are. And think of the advice we give kids. Like, we're like, oh, if you need to make a decision, what do? Eeny, meeny, miny, moe, catch a tiger by its toe. That's horrible advice. Like, and we're always compared, it's like, oh, us and the kids in Asia. But like, all the kids in Asia be like, oh no, you don't want to catch a tiger by his toe. That's a horrible idea. They know that. Because you know what? They come home after school and they play games like multiplication tables so they can succeed in life. They play piano so mommy doesn't smack me. Even in developing countries, you know, you've got games that are actually going to contribute something later, give them life skills. Like in Haiti, they're playing Find Shelter. Oh, that's going to be something that can help us too soon, I guess. And, you know, but then we think about what are American kids playing? They're running around the playground, and they're playing what? Well, we have to make a decision. So let's play rock, paper, scissors. This is a game founded on horrible logic. Because I don't know what kind of tests they ran, and they're like, well, we ran it over and over and over, but I'm telling you, paper comes out on top of rock as weapon of choice. It just doesn't make any sense. That's a horrible idea, because if you break this game down, what is it really? It's paper cut, blunt trauma, knife wound. Choose scissors. They're sharp, they're pointy, you can stab shit. Like, come on. The thing is, all I'm saying is that I've never seen someone take a brick to a knife fight and come out on top. But you know, that's beside the point. Like, and I know the Scottish kids are probably all getting upset. They're like, oh, the rock, the rock, the rock. Okay, chill out. You know, if the rock's a little bigger, then maybe, or a baseball bat, or a gun or something. But the point here is, you know, getting the kids not to choose paper. They're getting the wrong idea. So do America a favor. If you ever see kids playing and someone goes, paper, take a rock, hit them upside the head, teach them a lesson. Speaking of kids, guess who's not having any? Pandas. And that's yeah, right? It's sad. They look like retired fuzzy linebackers, don't they? They're just like. And so I mean, this is such a sad thing. But what's so intriguing about it is that this is a species that is dying out because the male of the species is too lazy to have sex. That is, I don't think there's any other species alive where the male is that lazy. So, like, it's so bad that they've hired someone whose job is literally to go and film the random occurrences every now and then, which must be rare, where panda bears are having sex. I'd imagine meeting him at a party. It's like, oh, what do you do? Well, I'm a teacher. How about you? I'm a panda pornographer. Like, I mean, that's a pretty unique job. And his job is literally to sit down with the panda and be like, all right, you're not in the mood, that's okay, I'm just going to put this film on. After a while, they're hoping the panda's going to be sitting there being like, yes, you're a naughty panda. And then they're going to bring in a female panda and be like, hey, Mr. Panda, you want to have sex with this Mrs. Panda? And this panda's lazy. He's like, I don't know, I'd have to get up. Stay here and watch the panda porn. And it's really bad because this is not just, you know, it would be one thing if they were just not reproducing. But it's really bad because they're not even eating. They're starving to death now because, you know, same researcher, probably same guys making the panda porn, come running and say, Mr. Panda, you know, we wiped out some of your bamboo and habitat on accident. We're going to have to move you like 5 minutes this way. Is that cool? Panda's, oh shit, that's a long walk. I mean, I don't know. Is it? It's okay, we'll drive you. Just get in the car. I have to get in the car. No, I think I'll stay here and die. Lazy bears. It's adorable. I'm actually getting kind of a little nervous lately because I'm a senior, I'm going to be graduating soon. I still have no fucking clue what I want to do. Any seniors here who have no idea? All right. Oh, there's a couple more. So we're all sitting here, and you know, everyone gives you the advice, right? They're like, think about, well, you know, what did you want to do when you were growing up? I was like, okay, let me think about that. I didn't get very far because I realized I was bordering on unrealistic when I thought of the fact that I used to want to be Waldo. I mean, professional hide-and-seek player, who didn't want to do that? That's awesome. And like, Waldo is like the Michael Jordan of like running away too. And he's talking shit about it. He's just like, well, I don't want to make this too easy for me, so I'm going to wear bright red stripes. Yeah. Good Waldo is, because I walked into the store. I was like, where is Waldo? Where is Waldo? And I couldn't find the book. Well played, Waldo. You're such a legend. So I finally got a book. I borrowed one from a friend, and I was flipping through, and I'm like, okay, Waldo's at a carnival. Waldo's at the aquarium. Waldo's inside a volcano with fucking dinosaurs. What did Waldo do that he has to go back in time and hide in a volcano? Like, I'm like starting to think Waldo's probably in much more serious shit than I first assumed. And more importantly, who wants to find Waldo so bad? They've been writing books for 30 years. Like, that's concerning. So, I actually have a theory. I was doing a little research trying to find out, why is Waldo possibly the most wanted man in the world? And it all starts. I'm going to take you back on the story here. We're going to make some connections you may have never thought of before. We're little art students, we can do that. So here's the thing. It starts in England in about the 1970s when he first shows up under the name of Wally. Not the movie. The guy with the red striped shirt. Anyway, so Wally, I have this suspicion, couldn't really keep it in his pants. And now, because if you think about it, it makes sense. There's millions of women and children every night looking for Waldo. And I mean, why else are they looking for him? They want to know who their daddy is and they want their child support. He couldn't take it, so he fled to America. He's like, I gotta ditch this Wally name, this just isn't working. And he stumbled across some reading about a man named Ralph Waldo Emerson, who, after all, made sense because he hid in the woods. This is where Waldo got the idea. Close acquaintances and friends, he was known to prefer a red striped sweater and hat. And so, it's a hotly contested fact, but it's crucial to our argument here. So moving along, basically he, once again, couldn't resist the urge to kind of not spread his seed, so he did in the US as well. Now we're all looking for him. The US government's had to be involved because everything's an aerial view, like a sniper recon type photo of those Waldo ran because that's scary shit, and I was like, I'm gonna find this guy. So last year when I was in Spain studying abroad, I said, you know what, I'm gonna pop in and see if I can find Waldo. But I walked into a store, first thing I see is Spanish have no idea either. They're like, ¿Dónde está Wally? Like, you think the French are doing any better to the north? They're not. He threw them for a loop. They're like, Où est Charlie? What the hell? Like, so you're probably wondering, where is Waldo now? Well, I have a theory. I have a theory that he's disguised himself. He's ditched the hat, the sweater. He's grown a beard, and he's now disguised as a 6'4" Arab man on dialysis, hiding out in the mountains of Afghanistan. So next time the video comes out and Osama is addressing you wearing a little hat and a bright red striped sweater, don't be surprised. Thank you guys.